The primary obstacle that kind of gets in the way for like a junior manager or someone who's managing for the first time or is a frontline manager is they don't know when to necessarily ask for help. Um, so they'll be dealing with the situation on their own or thinking it's going okay. Um, but then it hits the head and they never escalate it to anyone. They never asked for help. They didn't provide the awareness that they were dealing with it. Because, for some reason, you see this tendency where they really just want to handle it on their own and kind of keep it more in house when in fact they needed to draw someone in. Um, and so that's the common barrier, kind of an obstacle that gets in their own way, so to speak. Um, and then for senior managers, the thing that gets in their way, you kind of see it is as they try to navigate the water, so to speak, the thing that they constantly are struggling with is just, you know, not necessarily asking the question. Some of them operate a little too much on autopilot and kind of are like, hey, he's got it, or they got it, or she's got it, to kind of their direct reports who are all already managers. But they lose sight on that they also have to keep tabs on things. Sometimes managers struggle. But if they're not asking those questions and really just, providing and being that support system for their managers, they'll lose sight of that. And their managers will struggle.
There's an interesting nuance there, and taken at its most. If you are overly reductionist, it looked contradictory because on the one hand you were saying, hey, what they've got to do is let go and delegate and all these things, and now you're saying like, hey, they have to still stay in touch. They can't just like completely hand things over to the direct reports. It's still important to ask questions. It's still important to be a support structure, and I love that. I love that capturing of sort of a nuance of that role.
Yeah, the stuff you're letting go of is not the same thing that you're trying to capture with the last part you mentioned, right? What you're trying to let go of is the tactics, and what you're trying to involve yourself in is the big picture and the support system and like all that, right?
Aaron, you're sounding like someone that's been there before, I don't know.